and welcome to episode 2 of Major League Talk Giants Edition. My name is Henry Self. Today's date is Monday, April 3rd. We're going to be reviewing Series 1 for the Giants of 2023. We went out to New York for a 3-game set against the Yankees. We dropped Game 1 5-0, getting shut out. That was Cole versus Webb as the starters. We did pick up Game 2 7-5. Starters there were Schmidt for the Yankees and Cobb for the Giants. And then we dropped Game 3, getting shut out again 6-0. The Yankees started their rookie Brito, and we sent out our new Giant, Ross Stripling. So let's go ahead and start getting into it. We're going to go ahead and recap Game 1 for you real quick. Now, in Game 1, like I said, we got shut out. We did end up getting 4 hits. Those 4 hits went to Estrada in the top of the second, just a single little line drive to center field on an 0-1 count. Perez in the top of the 5th got a single, another little line drive into deep center field on a 1-1 pitch. Conforto got a single line drive left field on a first pitch, and in the top of the 7th, Estrada got a single and a line drive deep to right field on a 1-1 pitch. Overall, very poor offensive showing, a lot of strikeouts. In fact, Garrett Cole picked up 11 strikeouts on his own over 6 innings, allowing only 3 hits and 2 walks. Lamont Wade Jr. did draw the first walk on 4 pitches in the top of the 1st. That kind of gave everybody a bit of false hope. But then the next 3 batters, strikeout looking, strikeout swinging. To go over the numbers, Wade Jr. was 0 for 3. Conforto was 1 for 4. Flores 0 for 3. Peterson 0 for 3. Yastrzemski 0 for 2. Davis 0 for 2. He came in Yastrzemski's spot in the 7th. Estrada was 2 for 4. Crawford was 0 for 3. Sable was 0 for 2. VR, who came into the 7th, was 0 for 1. Perez 1 for 2. And then Beatty 0 for 1. So, like I said, Conforto, Estrada, and Perez getting those 4 hits for us. And like I said, a lot of strikeouts. Conforto struck out twice. Flores struck out once. Peterson struck out 3 times. He did draw a walk in the 9th that ultimately amounted to nothing. Yastrzemski struck out twice. Davis struck out twice. Estrada struck out once. He grounded out in the 4th. And then Crawford struck out twice. Sable, he struck out once. And Perez struck out once. And Beatty struck out once. So for that first game, that's a total of 16 strikeouts. 16 of the 27 outs the Yankees needed. The pitchers were able to do it on their own. That's a rough start to the season, especially when we try to talk ourselves up and be a bit hopeful about what was going to happen this season. Unfortunately, on the other side for the Yankees, like I said, we sent up Webb. He pitched 6 innings at 12 strikeouts, but unfortunately did give up 2 long balls. He gave up a solo shot to Aaron Judge. If you haven't heard about it already, you're living under a rock. Aaron Judge homered on the 2nd pitch he saw, the first swing of the bat for him for the season. Solo shot against our ace, Logan Webb. And then in the 4th, Gleyber Torres gets a 2-shot home run. And then Webb would walk the first batter he faces in the 7th. And that batter would eventually get brought around to home plate to score. So Webb was credited with 4 earned runs with only 2 walks given up. And like I said, 12 strikeouts. So 4 hits, 4 earned, 2 walks, 12 strikeouts for Webb. A decent showing if we could have only provided him some backup with some offense on the other side. You hate to waste a 12 strikeout day for your ace over 6 innings. He did not get the support he truly needed. After Webb, we sent out Brebbia, who had 1 inning pitch, gave up 3 hits, and those 3 hits are what allowed the walk batter to score. In the 7th inning, he gave up a single to Trevino, a single to LeMahieu, and a single to Judge, and that just sent everybody around. And he also got his own earned run on Judge's single. And then finally, in the bottom of the eighth inning, we sent out Tyler Rogers, 1 inning pitched, 1 hit, 1 strikeout. And when we went up for the ninth, just were unable to make any attempt at an offensive comeback. Overall, very, very, very disappointing game. Like I said, there were way too many strikeouts for our guys. It's kind of hard to score it all or win any games if you're striking out 16 times and only getting 4 hits and drawing only 3 walks. So, but let's look at some of Logan's statistics here. So Logan really stuck to his sinker changeup slider mix that he likes to use. Only threw 2 pitches as a 4-seam fastball. For his swings and misses on his changeup, he threw 32 changeup pitches overall, and it looks like about 10 of those were swing and misses. Through 18 sliders, 4 of those were for swing and misses. The unfortunate part, we're going to look at the 2 home runs that he gave up. And the first one, like I said, to Aaron Judge, it was an 0-1 count. And it was this just sinker that came in from the catcher's perspective. It's got it down and middle. From when I was watching it, it looked like more was like kind of down and away from Judge. Came in at 92.8 miles an hour. Judge nailed it, 109.3 off the bat, went 422 feet. And then, oddly enough, disappointingly enough, Gleyber Torres also got a hold of a sinker around the same speed, 92.5. On Baseball Savant, they got it showing it right in the middle, but watching it look more about the same location that Webb made that mistake to Judge. Same pitch type, sinker, like I said, same velocity coming in, and Torres got it 102.9, 378 feet. And like I said, that was a 2-run shot. So unfortunately for Webb, if he could have not made those 2 mistake pitches, if he could have not just left that there for them to hit, probably would have been looking at only maybe 1 earned run instead of the 4. So who knows? Maybe if he hadn't given up those 2 home runs, his only earned run might have been that 1 walk in the 7th. But you never know. All we do have are the facts, and that is 2 home runs on 2 sinkers, same speed, roughly the same location. So let's go ahead and move on from our disappointing first game of the season, and we're going to get into our second game, which went a bit better. We actually got some offense. We got on the board. Like I said, this was 7 runs for us against 5 for the Yankees. 7 runs on 12 hits. The Yankees only had 10 hits. And by the way, before I get too far into that, I do want to review 2 more numbers. So for our first game, no runs on 4 hits. Yankees had 5 runs on 8 hits. We left 6 on base to their 5 left on base, and we went 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position, whereas the Yankees went 3 for 9. Yankees also had 2 2-out RBIs, and that's just good offense. So second game, we picked that one up. So 7-5. We had 12 hits. They had 10. We had 1 error. We left 10 on base to their 8, and we went 4 for 14 with runners in scoring position, and they went 3 for 11. They had 1 2-out RBI. We had 2 2-out RBIs. And there were 2 hits that we got that went to a full count, and both came on the 10th pitch of the sequence. The first one was off of VR in the top of the second. That was a single fly ball to left field. And then Jock Peterson in the top of the 4th had a home run, 10th pitch. And it was a low ball that he just kind of golfed out of there, hit it to right. And that was what started our scoring there was Jock Peterson's home run in the top of the 4th. Go over some of the numbers for you as far as our batters. Wade Jr. went 1 for 3 with an RBI. Conforto, unfortunately, rough start to the season, 0 for 5, and he had 3 strikeouts to Wade Jr.'s 1 strikeout, and Wade Jr. also drew 2 walks. Estrada went 1 for 5 with an RBI. no strikeouts, two flyouts, two groundouts. Jock Peterson went 2 for 4 with 2 runs and an RBI. And like I said, one of those was a home run. He struck out twice and he did draw a walk. Yastrzemski went 2 for 5 with 2 runs and an RBI. He ended up with 2 strikeouts and 2 doubles. VR went 2 for 5 with a run. He had 1 strikeout, a flyout, and a ground ball. So 2 singles for him. Crawford had a day. It was good to see him get started. It was good to see him have fun out there too. Unfortunately, didn't get any hits against his brother-in-law the day before, excuse me, 2 days before. But he did go 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs and 2 runs. He had a 2-run home run in the fourth, and he had 1 strikeout and 1 groundout. He also had a stolen base. That stolen base came in the 9th inning on an RBI single. And then Sable would go 1 for 2. His first hit of his major league career came on a bunt single. How about that? You know who else had a bunt single for their first major league hit? Mike Trout. Good company. And then Johnson came in the 9th, went 0 for 1. Then Perez, rough day for Perez. He was 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. So we ended up with a grand total of 13 strikeouts in this game, though. So it was still a pretty strikeout heavy outing for us. And quite a few of our hits did come with 3 balls. So there was 2 full counts and a couple of 3-0 hits that we also got. And for the Yankees, their pitchers were Schmidt, who went 3 1/3, gave up 5 hits on 3 runs, or 5 hits for 3 runs and 5 strikeouts. And then Peralta came out 1 inning with 2 strikeouts. King came out, only went 1 2/3, gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, only got 3 strikeouts. And Abreu came out for 2, got 3 strikeouts with no hits and a walk. Holmes came out for 2/3, gave up 3 hits, 2 earned runs, got no strikeouts, issued no walks. And Cordero came out to get that final out, giving up no hits. For our pitchers on our game 2, our winning game, like I said, we had Cobb out there. He went 3 2/3, gave up 4 hits, only gave up 2 runs, only 1 was earned because he did have an error. What looked like it was going to be a double play. Ball came right back to him. He turned right around, went to throw, and flew over Estrada on second base. So it could have been an inning-ending double play. Ended up getting him an unearned run. He did get 6 strikeouts over those 3 2/3 and only issued 1 walk. Junis came on and went for 2 1/3, gave up 3 hits and 1 earned run of his own, got 2 strikeouts. Brebbia came out for 1 inning, and I gotta say this was the funniest inning to me because all 3 batters that Brebbia faced flew out to Yastrzemski in center. And you could see Brebbia's face when he was coming off after that. He kind of gave a little, look. I think he said he was going to go home and kiss the ground. Thank you, gravity. And then Taylor Rogers would come on, and he would have 1 inning pitched, give up 1 hit, 1 run. That was a home run to Donaldson with no strikeouts, no walks. And then Duvall. Let me tell you, Duvall coming on. We got used to Duvall last season having these lightning, amazing 9th inning showings where he's just going to strike out the side. He's going to throw some heat up there. I was legitimately nervous with a 3-run lead in the 9th while I was watching him play. First batter, he gets a pitch clock violation, so he starts off 1-0. And then he ends up he does end up striking him out. Did get worked to a full count. Volpe gets a single. He walks LeMahieu. Judge gets a single RBI. Rizzo walks, and then Stanton ends up hitting into a double play. And we had to review that double play so many times because people were wondering if Estrada's foot was on the bag and if Wade Jr.'s foot was still on the bag when he made his catch. Hopefully, Duvall does figure out his pace with this new pitch clock because one, his velocity was down, and you kind of got to wonder if that's a little bit about the pitch clock. He was the 30th slowest pitcher last year. He took like 22, almost 22 and a half seconds in between batters, or in between pitches with nobody on to get the ball to the plate again. And, when you're throwing that fast, yeah, you got to take some time because you're working yourself back up, probably to throw another 104-mile-an-hour fastball up there. So his velocity was down. He got two pitch clock violations, only got one strikeout, and he could not find the strike zone. Like I said, his first strikeout came on a full count. He threw one ball, and then Volpe got a single. He walked LeMahieu. Judge got a single on one pitch. Rizzo got walked, also to a full count. And then Stanton hit into a double play after working to a 2-0 count. So he threw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strikes over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 batters. That's not the Duvall that we're used to. So we'll see how he does as he works through this year and gets used to the new pitch count. So let's focus on the bright side of this game that we won, and that is the home runs off of Peterson and off of Crawford. That really got us going. Like I said, that everybody looked happy. Everybody looked like they were actually having fun when that happened. Our strikeout rate did go down a little bit, but it's still not much when you compare it to overall. In the first game, we had 16 strikeouts against us. And then in this game, we struck out 13 times. So it is a downward trend, at least it's going down. The Yankees in the first game, they also struck out 16 times, but they also put up the 5 runs on 8 hits. In this game, they also trended downward on their strikeout rate. They struck out 9 times. So we need to get our pitchers a little bit better at throwing strikeouts, but I'm not upset at Brebbia's 3 flyouts to center field with Yastrzemski out there. Those are still outs, right? And if you can do it on one pitch, that's efficiency. And it was, like I said, it was a fun game. 12 hits, 7 runs, only 1 error for us, and we managed to get out of that 9th inning scare with a double play. So let's go to our last game. I didn't get to watch this last game because it's Sunday. It was early. Like I said, I live in Honolulu. Real quick, before we get to that, almost forgot. Let's go ahead and examine Alex Cobb. So for he stuck to his sinker, split finger, and slider. Did work 4 curveballs in there, but most of the time he went sinker, split finger. He got 3 swing and misses on a sinker. I got 1 swing and miss on a split finger, and looks like 4 swing and misses on a slider. And he did give up the 1 home run to Stanton. And looking at Baseball Savant from the catcher's perspective, it looked like it was middle and out, and it was a 2-0 count. They're calling this one a sinker, and it came in at almost 95 miles an hour. Stanton got it, went out to right field, 112 miles an hour off the bat. So, but that was the only home run that Cobb gave up. And like I said, he ended up only giving up 4 hits throughout the entire game. And that was one of 2 home runs we ended up giving up in that game. Like I said, Donaldson came in. He got a home run off of Rogers, Taylor Rogers. Uh, Taylor Rogers came in. He only threw a total of 11 pitches. Only got one swing and miss on a slider. And Donaldson down and in on a 1-0 count. Um, Managed to get one out of there. And that came in at just 88 miles an hour. It was down and in, kind of on his hands. He got the bat around, and it went out to left field. So unfortunate there, but luckily we were already up 5-3. Donaldson only made it 5-4. All right, so let's move on to our last disappointing game of this series. Like I said, I didn't get to personally watch it. It started at like 7:30, 7:40 in the morning for me over here. Day games on the East Coast. Why you got to do that, MLB? So anyway, this was the last game of this 3-game set, and we ended up losing 6-0. We only got 3 hits in this game. We gave up 7 to the Yankees. We left 6 on base, and we went 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. The Yankees left 6 on base. They were 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position, but they also scored on 3 home runs. For our batters, Wade Jr. went 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. He was also hit by 2 pitches. Conforto 0 for 3 with a strikeout, 1 walk. Davis was 1 for 3 with a strikeout and a walk. Peterson went 0 for 4. And in the top of the 6th, he flew out, looked like to right field. And in the original game audio, you can hear his frustration. This man, he hit the ball. He knew it was not getting out as far as he wanted it to. And you just heard him shout, fuck, as loud as he could over the broadcast. You know, it's loud when the broadcasters are hearing it. But understandable frustration there. Yastrzemski was 1 for 4 with a strikeout. VR was 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Crawford was 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Sable was 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Estrada was 1 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. We're giving the outs away. So in this one, we had 12 strikeouts. So to the Yankees, 6, which means that over the 3-game set, we had, as a team, 41 strikeouts. We struck out 41 times. That's over half the outs that the Yankees needed to get. The other 40 came on 22 groundouts, 4 lineouts, 9 flyouts, 1 pop out behind the catcher, and 2 ground into double plays. So that's a twofer. And we also gave up 7 home runs to the Yankees, and we only got 2. So we gave up 2 to Judge, 2 to Stanton, 1 to Torres, 1 Higashioka, 1 to Donaldson. And who was that last one? Stanton Judge. Stanton Judge account for 4. So that means 3 others: Higashioka, Donaldson, and Torres. Yep. So we started Ross Stripling in this game, and he had a rough go of it. Swing and misses. He went with a slider, 4-seam fastball, changeup mix mainly. He did throw in 9 curveballs and 6 sinkers. He got 1 swing and miss on a slider, 4 swing and misses on his 4-seam fastball, 6 swing and misses on his changeup, and 1 on his sinker. He gave up 3 home runs in Sunday's game. And the first one, one of them came to Judge, and that was up and in the middle. Looks like they're calling it a slider. Came in at 87. Left Judge's bat at 111 and went out to left. And then He also gave up a home run to Stanton. Came down into the middle, another slider, 87 miles an hour. Stanton knocked this one way out, 117.8 miles an hour. It says off the bat, 485 feet. So way out to center field. And then he gave up one to Higashioka. Looked like it came up and in on an 0-1 pitch, four seam fastball, 90 miles an hour, left the bat at 106. So just a rough beginning to Stripling's Giants career. We'll see how he recovers from that. Honestly, that's going to be the most interesting part, how he handles this going forward. But to look at some more pitching numbers from the last game, we started Stripling. He went 5 innings pitched, gave up 6 hits, 4 earned runs, walked 2 batters, struck out only 3. Sean Jelly came in for 2 innings, no hits, but did give up 2 earned runs due to 3 walks, a couple wild pitches there, and got 3 strikeouts. And then Scott Alexander came in for 1 inning, gave up 1 hit, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. For the Yankees, they started a rookie, Johnny Brito, got his first major league start. He went 5 innings, only gave up 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. And then Cordero came in for 2/3 to give up 1 hit and get 2 strikeouts. And then Ron Marinaccio came in for 1 1/3, got 3 strikeouts. And Colton Brewer came in for the final 2 to get 1 walk and 1 strikeout. Sean Jelly had 3 wild pitches, and Colton Brewer hit Lamont Wade Jr. with a pitch, and Jimmy Cordero hit Lamont Wade Jr. with a pitch as well. And Ross Stripling hit Anthony Rizzo in that game with a pitch. Disappointing end to a disappointing series. Getting shut out twice is never fun, especially when you're on the road. This is the beginning of the season. There have been questions about you throughout the entire season or off season. You give up 7 home runs, and you only score 7 runs to the Yankees 16. And you struck out 41 times. 41. That's not the way to start the season. Rough all around. We wasted a 12 strikeout outing for Webb. Managed to win the second one, barely hung on. Duvall looked like he was about to give it up, and then just got shut out again. With a rookie on the mound for the Yankees. Now, something fun that I wanted to look at are the umpire scorecards. So for the first game on Thursday, we had Laz Diaz back there. It says his overall accuracy was 90%. He called 129 of 144 taken pitches correctly. His overall favor, oddly enough, was about 1.24 runs in favor of San Francisco. And his overall consistency, 88%. 15 called balls inside the zone and 2 called strikes outside the zone. The average for overall consistency across MLB is 94, by the way, and the average for accuracy is 92. His impactful missed calls were all in favor of the Giants. Top of the 4th, Cole Yastrzemski, 1 out, a runner on first, a 2-2 count, and a strike is called a ball. And from this perspective, it's on that inside corner on the bottom. And then top of the 4th, Cole to Flores, no outs, base is empty, a 3-1 count, a strike is called a ball. Again, just on that line. And then the bottom of the 8th, Rogers to Cabrera, 2 outs, a runner on third, an 0-2 count, a ball is called a strike. Way on the outside. And I'll admit, when I was watching this first game, which we, and like I said, ended up losing 5-0, there were a lot of strikes called that looked like they were out the zone. I mean, it was on the outside of the plate. And I know Webb started going to that part of the plate a lot. I guess he realized that the home plate umpire was definitely going to be calling strikes there. His called strike accuracy was only 86%. 7 of 50 called strikes were true balls. And on his ball accuracy was 91%. 8 of 94 called balls were true strikes. So I have a feeling that a lot of those were in our favor. So Laz Diaz, not the best scorecard for you. Then we go into our Saturday game. Andy Fletcher, we won, like I said, won this one 7-5. Now Andy Fletcher, his overall accuracy 91%. Called 168 of 184 taken pitches correctly. His overall favor was actually in favor of the Yankees by about half a run, and his overall consistency 89%. The average is 94. 15 called balls inside the zone, 6 called strikes outside the zone. And in fact, his impactful missed calls, top of the 6th, it was King to Conforto, 1 out, bases loaded, 1-2 count. A ball is called a strike. So that went in favor of the Yankees. Bottom of the 5th, Junis to Donaldson, 1 out, runners on second and third, 1-2 count. A ball is called a strike. Once again, that one went to the Yankees. And then bottom of the 1st, Cobb to Donaldson, 1 out, runners on first and third, 1-2 count. A strike is called a ball. So his 3 impactful missed calls went to the Yankees. Called ball accuracy was 95%. The average was 97. So 6 of 124 called balls were true strikes. And his called strike accuracy was 83. Average is 88. So 10 of 60 called strikes were true balls. So he was leaning more on the Yankee side with some of his calls based on this report card. Yet we ended up winning 7-5. And so on our final game of the series, we had Eric Bacchus behind the plate for Sunday's game. We lost 6-0. He was also leaning more toward the Yankee side. It says here his overall favor was a plus 1.06 runs for the Yankees. His overall accuracy, 94%. He called 144 of 154 taken pitches correctly. His overall consistency was 97%. The average is 94. Only 4 called balls inside the zone and 1 called strike outside the zone. And then it says his called strike accuracy down here at 88%, right at the average. 6 of 49 called strikes were true balls. And his called ball accuracy, 96%, average is 97. 4 of 105 called balls were true strikes. So he was pretty accurate there. His impactful missed calls, top of the 6th, Cordero to Davis, 1 out, runners on second and third, 2-2 count. A ball is called a strike in favor of the Yankees. Top of the 6th, again, Cordero to Wade Jr., no outs, runner on first, 0-2 count. Strike is called a ball. So that one went in our favor. And then top of the 4th, Brito to Conforto, no outs, bases empty, 3-0 count. Ball is called a strike, favor the Yankees. So he was a bit more balanced based on his impactful missed calls, and he was also more accurate. So, by the way, these ump scorecards are courtesy of www.umpscorecards.com. I found out that apparently this is just run by some college students that just like doing this. This is not something that's really run by Major League Baseball. The fact that this group decides to take their time to really look at what the umps are calling back there based on, I'm guessing, StatCast and some other things. It's really cool. So if you get a chance, go look at them, go check out their website, and help them out, support them, donate if you can. So that wraps up our first series. Like I said, we dropped it 1-2. Disappointing. Just had to be a storybook start for the Yankees, especially with Judge's home run being the first home run of Major League Baseball this year. but it's only 3 out of 162. We got another 159 games to play. We have to try and be positive. We can't really make a lot of judgment calls on only 3 games. Yes, we struck out a lot. We do have a downward trend with our strikeout rate, 16, 13 to 12. So we did knock a couple out of the park. We did get some hits, like I said. On our last game, we had 3 hits, 12 hits in the second game, 4 hits in the first game. So 19 hits. Didn't really have any errors. We only had the one that I saw. And so we'll see what happens. Our next series is in Chicago against the White Sox. And then we finally come home to have our home opener against Kansas City on Friday the 7th. Once the White Sox series is wrapped up, I'll get an episode out after that, examining how we did in the South Side. So from Honolulu, after the first series of the season, hey, it's here. Baseball's back. I'll see you throughout the rest of the 159.